Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Payton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule, presented by FanDuel. Today is Monday, January 26th, and Mizzou football's latest transfer, worst kept secret, has finally become officially official, as Kenny so loves to put it in all of his tweets. Mizzou has their big wide receiver ad, fellas. It is Cayden Lee from Ole Miss. Honeycomb, I know the Drinkwitz was dropping the emoji. He was feeling himself a little bit with some of the tweets on Saturday when this was made official. But Mizzou gets Cayden Lee from Ole Miss in the portal. Obviously a big time weapon for Austin Simmons and I guess Trinidad Chambliss when he took over at quarterback for the Rebels. Junior receiver, rated a 4-star transfer by Rivals. Was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. An exciting ad for Mizzou last year, 44 catches, 635 yards, 3 touchdowns. This felt like the kind of glaring skill position hole, Payton and Kenny, that this team had, that this team really needed to fill with, some of the departures and just some of the lack of deep threat talent that this team, kind of seemed to have going into the year. This feels like a very, very good ad for Mizzou on the transfer front here in Mr. Honeycomb himself, Cayden Lee.
Yeah, I felt like Mizzou had added a lot of bodies at receiver in the portal. I felt like they'd be in a good spot if they had one more productive player in there. And of course, calculus does change a bit because Lee coming in led to one receiver walking out the door. We'll talk about that later, but I feel like Cayden Lee is kind of a pretty enormous ad for this team. I mean, on top of just being a really, really productive receiver for a team that was very close to making it to the national championship game. I mean, he has a rapport with Austin Simmons for one. I mean, Austin Simmons didn't even pretend that he didn't want Cayden Lee at Mizzou the second he entered the portal. And again, very talented receiver. I mean, a 4-star transfer ratings can be a bit wonky, but still you like to see that more than not. I believe I saw a stat from PFF. He had 2 drops on 144 career targets or something like that. So great hands. I believe he's a very fast, very big speedster, deep threat, kind of like Knowlton mentioned. And Simmons has got an arm, so kind of plays well together. So I think it was a addition that had to be made. I think it's a very good way to end, probably end the portal for Mizzou. We'll see. There's still guys floating out there. You never know. They could add another guy or two, but between Graves, Bryant, Lee, and kind of a bonus one, I think it was a very strong end to what at times was starting to feel like a bit of a lackluster portal for Mizzou. I think I'd give Mizzou a firm B after this portal haul.
I thought Saturday really pushed it to a B+, Kyle. I got not Kyle, Payton.
Oh,
I forgot which show I was on.
I
do agree with you. I think it is.
Show.
Okay, you're blowing this to a bigger perspective than it needs to be, but I think a B range is a good one, and I think Saturday did push it a little bit over the edge. You saw Missouri really go by design, get some younger guys this year and guys with eligibility, so you don't really have to turn to the transfer portal and get 29 plus guys, 28 where you're sitting right now, and I think it's a good way to end it when you can get instant impact guys like Cayden Lee, who has familiarity with the quarterback, who probably has a pretty high ceiling in Austin Simmons, just with the overall arm talent, the athleticism. But he also, as we've mentioned, doesn't have many snaps under his belt. It's been pointed out by the On3 scouts that comparatively to the incoming freshman quarterbacks in the 2026 class, some of them have more career snaps, and that goes back to high school than Austin Simmons does. And he did start those 2 games at the beginning of the year before his injury for Ole Miss. But that also just gives you a really low floor at the same time. There are question marks on, what kind of Austin Simmons you're going to get in the system. You get a new offensive coordinator, you get a new quarterbacks coach, both with, highly regarded backgrounds. I think you're in the right spot, especially when you bring in a wide receiver as familiar with him in Cayden Lee, finished with 44 receptions on the year for 635 yards and 3 touchdowns. I was looking at it. They only played 2 games together this past season before Austin Simmons got hurt. 3 total receptions together in those first 2 games, 21 yards. So a little around 7 yards, but such a small sample size, nothing to nitpick from or even really look at more than that. But I do think this was the perfect way to kind of wrap up the portal with some of those bigger names. If someone else floats in from Miami or even Indiana, because those were the ones that they had until Saturday night to put their names into the transfer portal, so be it. But I think this is a good, cherry on top to the transfer portal for the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, this feels like a really nice get. And I think, Payton, you guys both make kind of good points in terms of the synergy with Austin Simmons. I think, last year, obviously Bo Perbula, didn't end up kind of wowing in the way that I think many hoped at quarterback. And I think Austin Simmons has the potential to be a lot better, but I think a large part of that will be some of the synergy that he has with some of these receivers. And I think to have a true wide receiver, one that you can call Lee next year, that, those two have been in the same room together for a long, long time. I think that chemistry is going to be a big factor just in terms of, not only good for Cayden Lee and Austin Simmons and what Mizzou can do on the field, but like getting them adjusted quicker, getting them, getting Simmons up to speed with, like with Kenny said, with just some of the snaps and just having some more comfortability, and he won't have to kind of grow into his role as Mizzou's starter throughout the season. I think it'll kind of let the offense hit the ground running, from a passing attack standpoint, because we know what this running game is obviously going to be. And hopefully that can give Mizzou kind of the balance that it missed last year without, a guy like Cayden Lee and just with Bo Perbula and some of his struggles. And so that'll be that. Payton, when you evaluate this wide receiver room, where do your confidence levels go now that Lee is a part of it and you've got Olubade in there as well?
Out of 10, I'd probably say around a 6. There's just not a whole, like, comparatively to the last few years. I mean, you get Lee. I'd assume Lee will be your wide receiver 1. I don't think I'd count on Olubade stepping in and being the guy out wide, being the X right away. Maybe they do that. Maybe they get creative with Lee. Who really knows? We'll that's up for Chip Lindsey to decide. But I mean, it's a lot of, you kind of need a lot of upside plays to hit. I think you need one of those other transfer receivers to kind of take a step forward. I don't think you can rely on someone like Demarion Folks to kind of step up. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, he's like 5'7", Kenny. I think you're looking at him as more of a special teams guy this year. You didn't see a lot of Sean Terry, so I don't know that I'd feel too confident in that either. So I do think it's kind of going to be, you're going to need a couple guys to kind of really grow into their role, and you're going to need Lee to be very, very productive early on.
I think he's about 5'9", and him and Terry are those slot options. I think moving forward. Sean Terry II, I'm pulling it up. Last listed on On3 is 5'10". So I mean, those are going to be 2 of your smaller guys in that wide receiver room. I think Kendrick Lanier II coming over from Minnesota does bring experience depth, but it's also a guy you're not expecting the world from. I think it's one of those low risk, high rewards where he was one of the later additions into the transfer portal, was on one of those final visits. Didn't really work out, production wise at Minnesota. But if you can kind of tap into what, some of those Big Ten teams were seeing in him out of high school, I think that's, fine depth. It's kind of what you saw the last couple of years, or even this last year with Xavier Lloyd, where you bring in an experienced wide receiver. Of course, Xavier Lloyd, played at Kansas State, but more of his production was at Illinois State. So it's a little bit different in that sense of at the level they played at. But you do have experience there. And, when you have Caleb Goody, Cayden Lee, and Donovan Olubade as your top 3, you're going to be relying on some of those younger guys. And I wouldn't count out Nashawn Montgomery, who came over from Florida. I think he knows that he probably has a year to really mold into that system as well. He redshirted, so he's going to be a redshirt freshman. They really like him and kind of the production that he can bring, and seems very bought in already. Just with that Missouri team, he was on campus earlier than some other people. Really got locked in, and he just kept posting videos of him working out on his own. I think maybe his dad was stuck around too, just kind of worked out with him because not everyone was on campus yet. So I do like where they kind of sit with Nation as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I think the fact that they got Lee, you get a guy with that proven production. You can look at the numbers and see something tangible there. And then behind him, it might feel a little bit more unknown. And I guess I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who I think Donovan Olubade is going to absolutely continue to emerge and be really, really, really good for until he's draft eligible. But, you are making some swings. But I think when you look at it with the likes of like Goody, Olubade, Montgomery, and then if one of those slot options can emerge, I think Mizzou can be in pretty decent shape. And again, this is not an air raid offense we're talking about. This is still a team that's returning the best running back in college football. So,
and they're really pretty highly touted RB2.
Right. So those are both important factors to note. You want the passing game to complement the rushing attack next year. The other guy, Kenny, that Mizzou got in the portal, the trade, the de facto Damon Wilson trade was completed on Saturday. So obviously Mizzou goes out, gets Malik Bryant at linebacker, and they added another linebacker from Miami, Bobby Washington Jr., rated a 3-star transfer. Did not play in 2025. He was hurt, Kenny. Tell us about him. 2 players for one, if you're calling it a swap for Damon Wilson.
Yeah, it's the third Miami transfer in Bobby Washington. You got Dante Simpson earlier in the portal coming over to play on that interior defensive line, and he's going to have 3 years of eligibility. These two are a little bit unique in different situations where Malik Bryant was playing off the edge. So he's listed as a linebacker, but he's going to be in that edge room. And there was someone, and I jumped the gun a little bit on our Unwritten X account. And I said the trade is complete after Malik Bryant came over because it was edge for edge. But in reality, they got another linebacker in Bobby Washington. I'll start with Malik real quick. The role really didn't expand much for him. He should have 2 years of eligibility remaining. So he comes into the edge room that's going to have, a new look to it. I talked to Payton already, and he said he's going to expect Langdon Kitchen to be one of those starters, if not just, going to see a real uptick just because you didn't get Damon Wilson back. And it's going to be a room that you still have trust in with Brian Early. He's been able to do it. Kevin Peoples was able to do it. I think that they'll try to find production, and this year more than anything, it's going to be one of those you try to do it in the aggregate. It's going to be a lot more than last year. I think the production from Zion Young and Damon Wilson was a lot more than many probably expected. Even when you look at it, in hindsight, we were like, oh, we should have expected this. I don't think we were. I don't think we were expecting them to best Johnny Walker's sack total together. We thought maybe they'd reach it or just be right on the outside looking in. So Malik Bryant's going to be in that edge room, even though he's listed at linebacker. And then Bobby Washington didn't play this past year due to injury. He played his first 2 years at Miami under Derek Nicholson. So familiarity there. Sabbath Joseph, who's the assistant defensive line coach, has familiarity with Florida, South Florida as well, being on that Miami staff. So they know him well. He should have 3 years of eligibility, as you mentioned, Jack, with that injury. So he would have been a redshirt sophomore this year. He can get a medical redshirt and then have 2 more years after that. So he could be up to 3 years of eligibility. That's good to have that in that linebacker room. You don't know. I mean, if everything pans out for Nick Rodriguez, I don't know. Does the NFL call next year? He just steadily keeps improving at that spot. And you only have 1 year of Robert Woodyard. It doesn't hurt to have a guy like Bobby Washington in that room. He's going to be a depth guy this year, probably second on the 2 deep. And then see where you go from there. If he can step up into one of those roles with Beasley or Nicholas Rodriguez in the 2027 season. The last thing I'll point out about Bobby Washington, I think this should have been very telling when it happened. He followed the Mizzou Today account before we followed him. He followed it a couple days, right when he entered the transfer portal. And I didn't reach out. I didn't really think much of it. I was like, okay, you might have just seen the Malik Bryant post and followed. And then ended up just jumping in. Ended up being a little bit surprised, but in the back of my mind, I was kind of thinking it would happen, but we were such in the back end of the portal, I didn't really pursue it.
Yeah. Payton on the edge room. You shook your head. You weren't as maybe as convinced about the aggregate filling of a guy like Damon Wilson. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, we've been very blessed with Darius, sorry, not DeMarcus Robinson. Shame on me. Darius Robinson, Johnny Walker, Damon Wilson, Zion Young. I don't think you
Isaiah
got one of
McGuire.
those. Who?
Isaiah McGuire.
Isaiah McGuire too, yeah, even going further back than that. That's a good point. And I mean, who was the other guy next to him? Next to McGuire.
Yeah, because D-Rob was on the interior that
like
year.
DJ Coleman? No,
Yeah,
Coleman.
DJ Coleman.
Was it DJ Coleman? He was very
2022. Yeah, DJ Coleman.
And he was an unheralded guy, but boy, I think Brian Early's got his work cut out for him this year. I really am not super optimistic on that room at the moment. I think Darius Smith can be productive. He had 4 sacks this year, kind of being that edge 3. He's a physical freak. Has the tools to be a total game wrecker. I am not sold on Langdon Kitchen as an edge 2 in the SEC. That is what I'll say about that. You kind of have to hope one of like Malik Bryant or Dayton Hopkins. There's some buzz about him. Really, somebody's got to step up in that room big time. And it's happened in the past. So, and I do think Brian Early is a very good coach. I think he can figure this out. But I do think we are going to be in a position where we probably see a bit of a step back in terms of the edge rusher production this year.
It's kind of like what we've been waiting for with the running back room, where it's like, when's the other shoe going to drop? And Mizzou just doesn't have a running game, and they continue to just churn out these guys. The defensive end room's been really the same way, where one guy has just been, or one or two guys have been just absolutely awesome, and you haven't had to worry about that kind of collective effort. And I agree. I think that's probably going to be this coming season is where that'll be lower on our position rankings, I think, than in past years. It feels safe to say. So we'll see where it goes. Kenny, do you have another point there?
I don't know. I wonder how much the defensive scheme might change too. Will they try to go to a 3-man front? Will they try to have another linebacker on the field that could blitz? I don't know. How much of those tools that you probably haven't seen from Beasley or from Washington, some of those guys that might be on the 2 deep at linebacker, but not your starters in Woodyard and Rodriguez. Will they be on the field, trying to rush the passer as well? Or, some kind of stunt. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of questions, I think, going in this year. Batoon has he's been very trusted as well. He had a very good defensive unit the last 2 years. He didn't miss a beat when he came over, replacing Blake Baker. So I think there's still a lot of trust there, and defense might adapt to those players. Because I think that's what we talked about for like 2 or 3 episodes straight when Batoon came over to Missouri, is that he was going to adapt to his players. He wasn't going to make the players necessarily always adapt to his scheme. So I am very intrigued to see if anything changes.
Yeah, you can adjust a little bit more with a position like that, I suppose, versus like a running back spot where if you're bad, you're kind of, you just become one-dimensional. But that is a very good point. I mean, Brian Early, Corey Batoon, like they have earned the I think benefit of the doubt, if you will, in terms of trying to navigate this from a personnel standpoint. Maybe Darius Smith just comes alive and kind of figures it out. That would be nice, because along with Wilson, he was very highly touted as a recruit. So we'll see where it goes. Kenny, correct me if I'm wrong. There was one more ad on the recruiting trail, right, for Mizzou, Preston Hatfield. Did we talk about him already?
No, it happened Saturday night.
Okay.
And I'll pull back the curtain on this one too, if you guys want to know a little bit about him.
Go ahead.
So last night I had nothing going on. I was just laying in bed, snowed in at the moment, didn't have really much going on, and Peyton's lighting up my phone at the moment.
Hey,
yeah, there's a group chat that you're in, and I keep seeing your name popping up.
I'm not messaging it.
Okay, well, I pulled back the curtain. I'll pull back the curtain on this one. Is that so? I was watching a video on it's like a local KC Instagram account, and they were making their like team of the year, and they named Preston Hatfield on there, running back from Lee's Summit. He officially visited Mizzou this past weekend, so a weekend before we're recording this, and picked up an offer. It was only a second offer going along with Missouri Western State. So a lot of expectations that he's going to choose the Tigers. In that video, sometimes they mess up and they'll call players commits when they're not yet. And I knew that, to expect it sooner than later. I heard it from the team, and the guy said, "Oh, he's a Missouri commit." And so I just texted him, said nothing else going on, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I committed." And I was like, "Okay, are we cool to post?" And he was like, "Yeah, go for it." And then he posted his like a second before I posted mine. So I was like, I think I kind of just triggered it that he hadn't announced yet, and he realized it, and so he ended up sharing his. He joins the class as his 23rd commit, second one from Lee Summit, which won the 6A title over Nixa. He had over 450 yards, set the Show Me Bowl state record for the 6A title game with rushing yards in a single performance. So he can do it all. He passed a little bit when their offense had to change at the beginning of the year. So at least Summit team that, probably deserves more praise than it did. It turned around its season after starting 4-0. In a world where you don't have the 105 scholarships, I don't think this one happens. The same for Karsten Fine and Trishun Daniil, who both visited the same weekend and committed. And that's just, this is one of those opportunities that Payton and I talked about last week, where some of these kids will probably know that they will have to redshirt, most likely redshirt. And if they stick around, they might find an opportunity in the next 2 or 3 to 4 years to come. And I think that's something that you just can't really pass up. You have an opportunity to go play at the University of Missouri for free. You're probably not getting too much NIL or any benefits other than just that scholarship, but you do have a roster spot. You can still earn it. Missouri's had guys in the past, and I think this kind of comes with the, I don't know if this would have Cody Schrader would have been in this mix, in 2021, 2020. I forget what year he graduated from high school. But this is a good opportunity for guys like this that didn't really have the high major offers, and they had great senior seasons, got evaluated, and Missouri saw an opportunity to expand its class, and they have good depth, kind of just going forward and see if these guys can develop.
I think what it could the 105 scholarship limit do, and you're able to take guys like this, it could honestly strengthen your depth a bit. You could be getting guys you ordinarily wouldn't have had the chance to get, and that, like you just alluded to. And that could create way better practice environments, just better scout teams. It's only probably going to make you better.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree. There's going to be, as this kind of filters down, especially with the portal, when guys are getting recruited less and less, or recruiting classes get smaller, you're going to have guys that, would normally fall through the cracks that end up on these rosters with these bigger rosters, that then some of them are bound to go out and earn it and become real ball players. And that wouldn't happen otherwise. So I think you're right, Kenny.
And Missouri was looking for another quarterback in its 2026 class, and that kind of played into not having depth this past year, having to lean on Matt Zollers and then walk-ons behind him. And when you expand that scholarship limit, it does offer opportunities to, like Payton said, the scout team was something that came up in conversations with players and in personnel this past year. And I was just kind of poking around, see what's, how this was going to change. It also could create more Brady Cooks in the sense of kids that just want to play for the University of Missouri, will sit around and then become contributors one day. I think this would have, Logan Muckey probably would have fallen in this camp a couple of years ago and not have had to be a walk-on. It's still, probably a lot of these guys have the same mentality that, they've had to earn it their entire lives. They never really got the spotlight, never got these big time offers. So it's really interesting to follow kind of moving forward, because it does match a high under Eli Drinkwitz. And this is the 7th in-state scholarship commit for the Tigers in the 2026 class. Last time that happened was in 2023. Do you guys want to guess who those 7 players were?
Oh God. 2023.
I can give you positions.
Logan Reichert, is he in there?
Yes. So these guys would be in the classroom. They would be seniors this year.
Yeah.
Repeat the question one more time.
So this year, Missouri has 7 in-state commitments, scholarship commitments under Eli Drinkwitz, which matches the high. The last time, so Missouri's hit this mark, I think 3 times, 3 or 4 times. This would put the Tigers' last time to do this was in 2023. 7 guys.
Manning was one of them.
Yes.
Got to be a couple. Gracial, was he in this one?
No, he was 2022.
Other St. Louis.
Jalen Marshall? No, he's not for it. He's not in state.
He was also 2022. He would be Kansas, Overland Park.
How many more Kansas City guys are there?
Robert Meyer?
Oh, Jamal Roberts.
Jamal Roberts, yes.
Not Robert Meyer, sorry. Blake
Blake
Craig?
Craig. Yes, Blake Craig is the other Kansas City kid in that group. So the other ones would be north of St. Louis, right outside St. Louis. Or I guess all three of them are St. Louis area. Last three of them.
Where was Blake Craig from again? He was from Blue
KC.
Springs.
Yeah, KC area.
Okay.
Oh, pull it up real quick. Lutheran North and Liberty. Is that right? No, that can't be
I was
right.
gonna say that's not a KC area school I've heard of.
Yeah, that's the St. Louis school. I think someone put this incorrect on his On3 profile. I'll try to fix it.
Oh, Kenny, this is like anyone that knows Kenny, this is gonna drive him insane.
Yeah, that'll drive him nuts until he fixes it.
Okay, let's think of these other three outside St. Louis. Are they still at Missouri?
He went to Liberty North.
Okay, I feel like I remember that.
It's a good question. One of them is still at Mizzou.
Okay, what positions? We're gonna need those, I think.
Safety, tight end, and defensive end.
Burks, Norfleet.
Oh yeah.
Defensive end. And obviously this is a defensive end that's moved on. This wouldn't be the Travion Ford year. Was this like a big time commit or just kind of a like lower end, like 3-star guy?
Yeah, I think a 3-star in state. Everyone was okay when he transferred just because he got pushed down the depth chart. You know the name and you're gonna kick yourself when you don't get it.
Wasn't Jalen Brown. He's not even from here. Wouldn't have been. When did he transfer?
Spring of last year.
It's not Austin Firestone, is it?
No. Not going to be Joe Moore. Did this guy ever play?
In a very small role. He's at SMU now. Or I gave it away.
Oh, Ja'Kai Lang. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
That was a little too easy after that.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
all right, I just fixed Blake Craig. I don't know why it had
Ja'Kai Lang, I do remember like being kind of enticed by him. So
we'll see where things go for Preston Hatfield. But yeah, Kenny, I appreciate your perspective on these guys because I think that is an important thing to follow because you're gonna eventually get one of these stories, whether it's Mizzou or somewhere else, where one of these guys breaks through and you have a coach interview and they're candid and say, we wouldn't have given this guy a scholarship before it improved to or increased to 105. So there you have it. Preston Hatfield on the recruiting trail, Bobby Washington and Cayden Lee coming in from the portal. That's your latest. Kick to a quick break. When we come back, we'll finish up the show with quick hits.
Wait. Shout out. What was his name? What was his name? The guy that commented on the last video.
Oh, I forget. Something _40.
Heck something 40. And I feel bad.
Heck _rain 40.
Heck rain
40. If you're looking for the comment answer that you were looking for, we answered it at the end of yesterday's.
Oh yes, watch the basketball
show.
Watch the basketball recap. We put that in there because
it's at the end.
That's when we talked hoop. So we will kick to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the show with quick hits. Okay, quick hits time. We'll finish out the show. We had a mini Ken Sports Shorts 10, the transfer segment. Now we have the actual Ken Sports Shorts, which is where me and Payton know nothing. Kenny, take it away.
I had something good last night. I was trying to fall asleep, and I had a good one in my mind on something I wanted to do, and I
gotta write that down. You need a dream journal.
I'll remember it next week, probably. Would anyone like to guess my sleep score on my watch from last night?
92.
No, this is the highest I've ever gotten, and I've told 98. My friend Juan.
104.
Yes, I got to 98. I don't know if you can go over 100. I don't
know how it works.
What did it knock you 2 points off for?
Being awake for 7 minutes in the 8.5 hours I slept.
Wow.
8.5 hours. I slept 7.5 last night, which I wish I had gotten a little more, but
I never keep track of any of that. I have no idea.
It's just I don't always wear it, but I wore it that time, and that's what got
I don't wear it. I just want to make sure I always get at least 7 hours every night.
I have no idea. Don't pay attention to it. Ken Sports Shorts. Go
We
ahead.
haven't done a
Ken.
daily dozen in a while. Last time we did it, you guys made me feel really bad. I don't remember what we were fake arguing about, but I remember I went through this in a really monotone voice. We'll start with the NFL.
We had over text now.
Which one?
The 2004 Red Sox versus 2016.
We had that debate on here. No one even cared. No one replied about it. Probably sped through it. All right. NFL. In 2008, Lawrence Tynes hit a game-winning field goal in overtime in the Giants NFC Championship win over Green Bay, and then did it again against this team in the 2011-2012 NFC Championship.
I know the answer. Do you guys know it?
So 2012, that was, oh God.
There were two very famous botches from the same player in this game.
That's Super Bowl 47. So that's
is Patriots Giants.
Patriots Giants.
Both of them are Patriots.
Yeah.
Who did they beat in that? Who did the Giants beat in that NFC Championship?
I think the Patriots beat the Ravens.
Yeah, I think that's the one where Billy Cundiff had the really terrible missed field goal.
Is it the 49ers?
Yes, it is the 49ers. Kyle Williams, who I believe was their backup punt returner, muffed two of them, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not great.
NBA. Danny Ferry chose to go overseas after this Western Conference team drafted him second overall in 1989.
I don't remember where Danny Ferry got drafted.
I don't know why my mind went to the Warriors.
I was going to say the Trailblazers.
Weirdly, my mind also went to Portland, but I don't know that that's right. You can guess it though. My guesses are either Portland or Phoenix.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
MLB. In 2020, the Angels signed this third baseman to a 7-year, $245 million deal, and then he never played more than 60 games in a season for them.
I know who it is. Worst contracts ever, yeah.
My aunt almost bought me his jersey after the 2019 World Series.
That would have been such a good troll.
Instead, she got me Juan Soto, and she wasn't trolling. She had no idea. She just thought it would be a nice gift.
Oh,
I mean, those are the two worst possible players to have gotten for you as well.
It's like I would have been fine with Strasburg. You know, he was pitching fiend.
He's really cool.
Yeah.
Would you have been cool with the Scherzer one?
Yeah, I think so.
Would you have rather gotten a Will Harris one?
Do you know who this is, Jack?
No. Can I have a hint? Like, would I know? Like, do I know?
Yeah, I mean, he was really good.
Cole Boros Corp hat.
You're not funny.
Can I have a hint?
I mean, Payton and I both wanted this guy at the time.
I wanted this guy badly. He's from Houston. He went to Rice. He was with the Nationals the year before.
Baseman.
He has no idea.
He once called baseball secondhand to the rest of his life. Kind of comment about he just treated it more like a job than he was fine.
I feel like I do. So he played for the Nationals. He won that title with the Nationals.
Yes, he was unbelievable with the Nationals.
What was the first initial of his first name?
AR. Or is his
last name starts with an R, yeah.
Oh man. I feel like I do know who this is, but I can't remember. You can just put it.
Anthony Rendon.
Rendon. I
feel like he's been on this before. There's no way that's the first time.
Maybe you should get a Howie Kendrick jersey next.
You're just not funny. A 2026 model, the Vistic is a battery electric mid-size luxury 3-row crossover SUV. No commas in there. That's ridiculous. SUV manufactured by this automobile brand.
I don't know.
Nissan?
Sure.
I know nothing about cars.
Damn it. Celebrity mashup for our that's the mom from Full House.
From Home
Alone. Yeah.
And her name is escaping me.
It's Kathy something.
I could try and call should I call an expert for this one?
Yeah, call in an expert.
Okay, hold on. I'll go get an expert.
I think no, that's not Bill Nighy, I don't think.
We need your help.
No. Grocery products, Payton? Known for playing DJ Tanner. Oh my gosh, there's a Full House one on here, and I just said that on accident. DJ Tanner on Full House. Candace Cameron Burr is a spokesperson for this tuna brand.
Go back to the celeb mashup. Who are those two people? It's the mom from Home Alone. Who's the mom from Home Alone?
The mom from.
We can't hear him.
Oh, that's Oh, what's her name?
Catherine
Who's the
O'Hara.
guy, is that Kevin Bacon?
Oh, you cheated. He just said it. He just
Well,
said
I
the name.
knew it. I just didn't know her last name.
Catherine O'Hara.
Look, she's
Jane
on
Lynch?
here. She's
Kevin
on
Bacon.
my search.
Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon.
That does look like Kevin Bacon.
It could be.
Oh,
Both
stay
names
not-
wrong.
be
Is
gone.
that Jane Lynch?
Could be.
The face? I think it
Yeah.
might be Jane Lynch.
And then the face is oh man, who's in Dead Poet Society, but he's really young.
Don't know.
He married he married Uma Thurman.
This looks like the dad from
Ian Hawke. No, not Ian Hawke.
Ethan
Ethan
Hawke.
Hawke?
Ethan Hawke. I think it's Ethan Hawke.
That's no way. That's Ethan Hawke, is it?
It also looks like
Okay.
it's the who's
Christian
the
Bale.
yo. That's a good one.
Guess we'll find out. We'll
Old
find out.
Christian Bale.
We'll find out.
Grocery products. Known
I
for
don't know
playing
anything
DJ Tanner on Full House. When you were gone, Jack, I thought this was funny because I accidentally.
Oh
called
yeah,
her
you
the
just
mom
brought
from Full
brought
House.
that up.
Candace Cameron Burr is a spokesperson for this tuna brand. It's that one with the blue fish where it has like glasses, like an ascot.
That's the only one I know, but I don't know the
Yeah.
name of it.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Television, set in the 1970s and following a dysfunctional suburban working class family, Bill Burr created and voiced the lead role in this Netflix animated sitcom from 2015 to 2021. I watched this show. Like I don't know if I watched
I
the
don't
entire
remember
thing.
it.
I don't remember what it's called, but I do remember watching this.
He
What is it? He
plays.
works-
you don't remember what it's called?
Mandalorian, but
No,
that's
but-
not animated or a sitcom.
He
Thank you,
works at
Payton.
an airport. In the
Why,
show.
you're the only one that knows it. Let's just.
I don't know it. I don't remember the name of
Oh,
it.
you don't know the
Wow.
name? Okay.
We're struggling.
You know that song by Redbone? Like dun, 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 dun,
Come and get your love.
Hey, yeah, that was the intro song for this show.
Oh yeah, come and get your.
I've never
love.
seen it.
Bow, 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 bow.
Sandra Bullock earned best second or her second best actress Oscar nomination for this 2013 sci-fi film. It's not The Blind Side.
Is that like Arrival or whatever?
No,
That
she's
sounds
not in.
right.
She's not in Arrival. I don't think
It's
that's-
one of those movies though.
Yeah, but it's. What's the other?
She's definitely in a movie with that alien. I thought that was Arrival.
Go for it. That's fine. I don't think
Because
that's. her,
I don't
but-
know what else it would be. Oh, I'm wrong. Dang it.
In which U.S. state does Coachella musical festival happen?
Do you guys know? Yeah.
I've never been to Coachella, nor
You
will I.
probably
ever
never go.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think
All right, I just gave up because you have to be able to guess all of them in order to.
it's fine.
All right. NBA was the Los Angeles Clippers.
All
for
right,
Danny
we never
Ferry.
would have gotten that. None of us were
Stuff.
close.
Cars, the Vistic, and the
Cadillac.
That
Nope.
makes sense. Celebrity
Nissan and
mashup:
luxury cars.
Hugh Lowry, Kate Blanchett.
All right, we were not.
No
even
names we
close.
said. No names we said.
Starkist. Okay,
Starkist.
that's what it is, but I didn't know that. Television, F is for family. Okay.
Never heard of it. I don't think.
And then movies was Gravity. Okay.
Gravity. I knew it was a space movie.
This
No
is what the
chance.
show looked like.
Oh.
I don't know that I ever knew.
I've never
this
seen
existed
this.
before.
Yeah.
Right now,
I watched it because of Bill Burr and then the intro song.
Was it
Absolutely never
funny?
seen this.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I don't think I would enjoy it now. I probably enjoyed it when I was younger. Brain's fully
Can't remember
developed.
The name. All right. Tigers in
Debatable.
the wild.
you want a
Kenny.
Sean Doolittle jersey, Kenny?
No.
Who's your tiger in the wild, Kenny?
Tiger in the Wild goes to Robby Meyer. Robert Meyer, the former Missouri kicker, spent his freshman season with the Tigers before entering the transfer portal. He landed at UC Davis, going back to his home state of California.
Good for Robby Meyer. Gets an opportunity to kind of revamp his career a little bit. I know it was a rough spot he had to get kind of thrown into. How do we feel about Robbie with 2 B's, but his name is Robert with 1 B? But I guess if you spelled it ROBY, it'd be Roby.
My name. Oh, wait, no. Shoot. Oh, man.
Dog. That's his own name. It's his own name.
Unbelievable.
Oh boy. Peyton, you want to do your Tiger in the Wild?
Yeah, we kind of need him to come back though. Oh, he's
No, he
just
You can, yeah.
My Tiger in the Wild is going to be Horatio Fields. You can see the update here from Peyton Akos. He tweeted, update on Missouri, Horatio Fields. Kenny, you want to come back in here and kind of lay down the... Yeah, we're going to add you back to the stage, buddy. You can shake your head all you want.
Keny Van Doren.
Yeah. Horatio Fields, as it turns out, probably the Auburn transfer receiver probably will not be making it to Missouri. Sounds like he was kind of looking around even before Cayden Lee committed, and Cayden Lee committing probably only solidified that. I remember I actually put Kenny on the path to figuring this one out.
Yeah,
remember when I called him Dennis Jackson, by the way?
Yeah. You were right. Yeah. You did you tipped me off just to kind of look into this after the recording after the Oklahoma game on Saturday. I texted Pete, and he's been a lot of help, of course. He's been all over the transfer portal. I'm actually intrigued. How many followers do you think he's up to?
Oh, in the six figures, 100%.
He already was.
111.2K. Dang it,
17. You'll learn how to read one day. I'm just kidding. Sorry, that was mean. But yeah, so it's gonna be one less.
You want a Ryan Zimmerman jersey?
He wasn't even on. Oh yeah, he was. He was first base. I was thinking of this. Who's the pitcher? Who's the pitcher?
That's Jordan Zimmerman.
Former Cardinal, I think, at one point. Tiger.
Was he really?
I think
he was
so.
a Tiger.
Look it up. Yeah. All right. Back to this. One less Auburn Tiger, most likely with Horatio. I mean, don't blame him. You kind of got. When you get Cayden Lee, it kind of pushes you down a little bit on the depth chart. And I believe he had 2 years of eligibility remaining. That's what he said when he entered the transfer portal. I think you get that from a medical redshirt this past year, and then another year of eligibility on top of that. Kind of just one of those guys where I don't think you're too upset after you get Cayden Lee and kind of just let him go find an opportunity elsewhere. He's not on campus at the moment. He did kind of sign to put himself into classes, but never officially fully enrolled, according to Pete. So not expecting him to be at Mizzou, but it's a couple things they have to hash out before he can get out there.
Understandable.
And I will say that I did look at his Instagram and his Twitter recently because I was just looking through those commitment and signed graphics that Mizzou posts, and he didn't have his on his Instagram or his Twitter. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, maybe he just doesn't use it much. Ended up being the case.
Yeah, but it's understandable for him. Almost as understandable as when Kenny didn't want the Kurt Suzuki Nationals jersey I offered him.
Yeah, it makes sense when you get a guy like Lee. My Tiger in the Wild.
You and Kurt Suzuki have similar political beliefs, right, Payton?
No, we don't. Moving on.
My Tiger in the Wild.
Manager of the Los Angeles Angels now, by the way.
He coaches Anthony Rendon, right?
No, I think Rendon's gone.
Oh, yeah, I think that ship has sailed.
My Tiger in the Wild's Connor Tollison. This was not good. As you can see if you're watching on the YouTube, and if you weren't living under a rock on the Mizzou internet sphere, Connor Tollison, this is the Senior Bowl, correct, Kenny? That he did this in.
Yeah, it was the new one. It was. I think this was the first year.
Yeah, the Panini Senior Bowl, not the recent.
No.
No, it's not that one.
No, this is like its own. It's a new one, like this year.
We have 2 Senior Bowls. I can't keep.
There's more. There's
more than 2. There's like 3 or 4.
Well, okay, one of the Senior Bowls. Connor Tollison. They did I guess for this game they did the whole trading patches on the helmet thing. You
American
got it for
Bowl.
me? The American Bowl. Thank you. Very ambiguous name. He put a Jayhawk on his helmet. Don't know who put the green light on that. I think he reply to this image being posted of him with it.
He said he did it to piss people off.
He just did it to make people angry. Well, it worked. It worked. People were not happy. Kenny, I don't think it was this tweet he replied to. I think.
Oh, someone quote tweeted and he replied, but that's Jamal Brooks, former Missouri.
Yeah. Who wound up leaving, and still he apparently understands, like, being a more faithful alumni than the 4-year starter at center.
Yeah. So people were not happy about this. He had the Jayhawk on. I know sometimes it's like, I thought for a second that it was just like they just got handed a helmet and they just put a mix of patches on there. So maybe someone else screwed it up. But then I was reminded that usually they trade them with other players that they know and stuff. Yeah, I've not been able to find his account.
He
It's very
replied to
difficult to-
somebody. I don't remember who.
Did he like deactivate?
Yeah, it doesn't come up when you search it. I don't know how you find it. But
Hang on. I'll see if I can find it. But needless to say, I think this is an incredibly dorky thing to do. You started 4 years here, and I like your only explanation is just I did it to make people mad. Like, I don't quite get it. On top of not being a very good player for a lot of his time here, seems like he doesn't really give a damn about being an alum or anything. So, whatever. Good luck, Connor.
it's tough.
Is that a Buckeye? No, that's not a Buckeye.
Yes, it
logo.
is.
That-
It is.
It is a Buckeye. I didn't know what
Buckeye.
that was about either.
Yes.
That's
but-
cool. I mean, he beat. That one's kind of cool.
I mean, none of them would matter except for Kansas. So
I'm
You
not
pick the
bugged
one.
by it too much, just because I mean,
I was
tried to
more
remove
bothered by
that.
his weird response.
Yeah, his response.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he could have just said like, just kind of just leaning
Yeah,
into the
even if he-
rivalry.
or just explain like, hey, I've got a really good friend on Kansas. We played together. He's wearing the Missouri
But is
Tiger
that
patch
even
on
the
his helmet.
case?
But
Yeah, we
we
don't
don't
even
know.
know.
He didn't say that. Yeah, he didn't say it. So
Because it
He's
seems
a
like
Jackson
the
kid.
only reason was for him to just piss people off.
yeah, it's very.
And what's the
very
point of
strange.
that? Like, I don't know. It's just childish. I mean, it's something we're blowing up a little bit too much to even talk about it. But I mean, he wasn't really well liked for parts of his career at Missouri, and he's just kind of making it worse. And he's
Yeah.
in-state recruit. I mean, that's the thing too that just kind of blows my mind. Like, he probably grew up watching this rivalry, even if his parents didn't go to Missouri, if he didn't have connections growing up. That's
Well,
just something that's weird to me.
And Kenny, you're right. We probably are blowing it out of proportion, but his response signified that that's exactly what he wanted. He wanted to make people angry. So yeah, maybe we shouldn't talk about it because, yeah, very strange decision.
I think I found it.
to
Give me 1 sec.
do. So,
And
Are we
plus, I
waiting,
mean,
or-
you have to also remember if you go to his actual timeline on his account, like his most recent retweet is kind of bashing on the quarterbacks at Mizzou. Like, just bizarre, weird behavior.
I think it was more bashing on Bo than anyone else. I think it was more
And maybe
people
I
like-
don't. It's just weird all around. Keep that in house. I trashed Marquise Johnson for doing that, showing up Bo Perbula. I'm gonna do that to Connor Tollison as well.
doing a robot voice. Yeah, very, very, very strange behavior. Yeah, you said just piss people off. Hey, man, it worked,
It's
I
as
guess.
strange as Kenny not wanting a Gerardo Parra Nationals jersey.
Well, you need to bring him back because he's got his
Baby
headline.
shark doo
Actually,
doo.
no, it's
doo,
your
doo,
headline.
doo.
So you go first. Sorry.
All right,
Shake
my
your head at
headline.
me. I'm not the one suggesting getting Nationals jerseys.
I brought up my friend Juan earlier. These are headlines of the weekend. Brought up my friend Juan earlier, and this reminded me, Payton, because we didn't really talk about it. But it's been a couple weeks since Nick Evers officially signed with Missouri to be one of the backups. And so my headline was UConn transfer quarterback Nick Evers embraces role as competition, final chapter at Mizzou. Payton, do you remember like when I was driving back home from St. Louis to Houston, I stopped in Dallas. We went to go eat with my friend Juan, and his roommate Marcus was there. We talked about Nick Evers. Like that was before the transfer portal opened. We talked about Nick, his brother who was being recruited by Missouri in the class of 2026 before heading to SMU, because my friend Juan, his roommate, went to Flower Mound and knew the Evers brothers, knew about him. And it's just like these weird coincidences that just keep happening. And I think that was just kind of a fun one that I just forgot to bring up on the show.
It is funny. That was like maybe a week or maybe two before that he committed as well. So pretty funny
Might
coincidence.
have been like 3. It was like right before Christmas. So yeah, it was like 3 weeks. And would we have thought that? I don't even know if Nick Evers was in the portal yet or if we had even seen that.
I don't think we would have even considered him. I mean, we kind of thought maybe Mizzou would bring in a Drew Pine type, but we hadn't thought of Evers specifically. We're not on what do you call those things? Nostradamus.
Nosferatu.
I mean, I was almost. I did a list of 3 guys at 3 positions that Mizzou should target in the transfer portal before we knew like names. 2 of my guys on there signed with Missouri. One of them is no longer. We just talked about him, Horatio Fields. My other one was Jaleel Florence. So I was close. 2 for 9. That's not a bad day. Bad day at the plate. We're looking for some improvement. If you got one more,
Not even batting 250.
I know, but what's my OPS?
That's less than a 1 for 4. That's like that's not even Victor Robles in the World Series numbers.
Kenny, you walked right into that one. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly what you were doing.
You want to hear a fun fact about Victor Robles, Knowlton? He
No.
has the highest OPS in World Series history.
That's not even true. You have the wrong reserve outfielder.
1 plate appearance.
It's not Victor Robles. It's not Victor Robles. And you
How
have
is it not
wrong.
Victor Robles? He has a 5,000.
It's Michael A.
OPS.
Taylor that has the.
Shoot, is it Michael A. Taylor?
Yes.
Oh no, I messed up my joke. You're right. It is Michael A. Taylor. You're
I'm
absolutely
back on Kenny's
right.
side.
I
I've
like
known
him.
about Nick Evers for a while as well, Kenny. He was a Wisconsin quarterback for a brief spell
And
before
I
going to
feel
UConn.
I feel bad. I put in the request for the transfer portal graphic and told them to put the Oklahoma one on there as well because he played there. And I totally forgot he played at Wisconsin, or he was a
did.
backup at Wisconsin.
Yep.
And they didn't put it on there. And people like on the transfer portal Instagram account were like, "Where's the Wisconsin logo? Where's the Wisconsin logo?"
He
I
was
like,
there.
"Oh, my bad.
I don't think I
forgot."
knew he was at Wisconsin either.
Yep. I remember them recruiting Nick Evers. So, like you, I have known that name for some time. Payton, what's your headline?
My headline is going to be from Alabama men's basketball, and it's not Bediako related yet. It's schedule update. Tuesday's game versus Missouri has been moved up to 8 p.m. Central at Coleman
7 p.m.
Coliseum.
7
what?
p.m. Central.
Didn't I say that?
No, you said 8.
My bad.
The one important part of the headline
I really say
was
8 p.m. The game has been moved up to 7 p.m. Also, Alabama is coming in off of a loss with their G Leaguer. They lost to Tennessee. Tennessee had a pretty good tweet. They tweeted like at Bluecoats, you're next. Like they tweeted at a G League team.
The Bluecoats
like,
replied.
after they beat Alabama. So
The Bluecoats replied.
what'd they say?
They put the 50-cent gif that it was him doing the "what you say F me for,"
Oh, okay.
which was pretty funny. Duke men's basketball also said LOL. There were some bigger accounts in the replies of that. So shout out the Vols for that one. Yeah, it's be an interesting game. Alabama didn't have Amari Allen and Aiden Holloway for Tennessee. It's 2 of their better players. So we'll see if they're available for Missouri. That'll be a big factor for them. So there's your Alabama preview. Okay, my headline of the week. I just had to pick a goofy one this week because I read it and it just really made me laugh. Might be the most Australian headline I've ever read. We're going to talk some cycling on this show, fellas. My headline is from the AP. It reads, Jay Vine wins Tour Down Under after crash caused by kangaroo. Yes, folks. A cyclist in Australia won a race after an accident was caused by a kangaroo hopping onto the track. Can you get more Australian than that? I don't think you can. It was this guy, Jay Vine. He got knocked down. He got knocked off his bike in the final stretch of the race, got back up and won. And there's a pretty funny video that you can see the kangaroo like hopping around in the street and blocking all the riders. It was pretty funny. And I couldn't help but read this. And I was like, Tour Down Under and crash kangaroo in Australia. It's just peak Australia. I thought it was great. So I had to make my headline.
3 riders had to quit the race, and a poor
Yeah.
kangaroo got hurt, man.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
like
he hopped
how-
off, I think.
I like how this was an Associated Press article, and we're using the ESPN version.
Well, aggregating is important.
Support journalists.
Yeah. But I thought this was too funny when I read the headline just to not post. Jay Vine was the name of the cyclist. Also, he is
name.
Australian, but he was racing for like a team that like the team name was the UAE, like it was a UAE team, but he is Australian. So I don't know how that worked, but it's a side piece. Oh yeah, the quote's kind of funny, Kenny. If you scroll back up for a second, two of them blasted through the peloton when we were doing probably 50 kilometers per hour, and then stopped and went left, right, left, right, left, right, and I ended up hitting its backside.
Oh man,
Kind of funny.
Roos are cool animals too.
They're great animals, yeah. Very
Can
Australian.
we get a kangaroo photo, Kenny?
Like, you want me to do one?
Can you? No, I meant just pull one.
Just Google kangaroo?
Yep, this is on the internet forever now.
This
Kenny.
is why you
Congrats.
subscribe to the YouTube. This is why you subscribe to the YouTube, by the way.
I thought that's what you wanted. Let's see if there's one in the story. No,
No, they
What
didn't have
did
a video.
they should have done an AI one of him on a stretcher, and he gives a thumbs up to the crowd.
as he's going off. Oh boy, that would be one rare good
Lordy.
use of AI. Payton, tell a joke. Let's get out of here.
This one comes from our favorite TV series of today's show. Guys, why did the Oreo go to the dentist?
He needed filling. He did filling.
Yep, it lost
Oh.
its filling. Good job.
Good job, Jack.
Shout
Made,
out
like-
Sarah Lemire for the joke. I also have a bonus segment today.
I ate like 12
It's going to
Oreos
be
yesterday.
2019 Washington National of the Day.
Oh.
Today's winner is Rowanus Elias, a relief pitcher, lefty relief pitcher. I actually remember him a bit. He was traded from Seattle or waiver claimed. He pitched 44 games for Seattle in 2019 before being picked up late in the season by the Nationals. He pitched 4 games there, amassed 3 innings only, gave up 3 earned runs. Don't believe he pitched in the postseason for them. But there you go, Kenny. Maybe a bit of a lighter one there. He shouldn't have any bad memories for you. 2019 Washington National of the Day, Rowanus Elias.
I support keeping this segment. So
We're keeping this segment?
if you want to, it's up to you.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I
I'm
can
just
get
letting you know I support it.
probably 50 players total. So it'll be a 50 episode long streak, Kenny. Or we can just cycle back through and keep it going forever.
It's true.
He pitched in 4 games for that 2019 team. Did not pitch the postseason like you mentioned. He pitched in 3 innings total in those 4 games, and he gave up 3 earned runs. 2 of them were homers.
I saw that too.
He threw 44 pitches.
His
Starting out with a
baseball
banger.
reference photo is him in a Cubs hat. I do remember
Yeah.
him being a minor league signing, but he never made it.
Whoa.
His MLB one is the same.
I do remember Rowanus Elias because I wanted the Cubs to trade for him at some point, probably in 19, but
All right, that'll do it for the unwritten rule. Thanks everybody for watching, listening. As always, we will come back on Friday. We will have the Alabama recap. How many points will Charles Bediako score on Missouri? We'll find out. Big task for Sean Phillips. So enjoy that. We will see you next time. Now, as I'm an outro with just Kenny clicking. Keep going, Kenny. Keep typing. Yeah, we all heard that.
bedtime.
Bedtime. Goodbye.